You know, I love to go out to the basin this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
I always go with people that I've decided it's more financially responsible to have friends that have boats than to have one of my own.
That's how I feel about camps and beach houses.
There you go. Just have friends who have them.
You know, the big trick in all that is having friends.
Good morning, Jackie Russo is here, by the way, with Brandbuzz. Yeah, that is the truth. You got to have friends. You got to be nice.
It's a challenge.
It is.
We looked. My dad was looking at getting a place in Florida, and really because we like going there and et cetera. Once we started looking at it, I remember he got a text one day and he said we could go for 15 weeks out of the year for the cost it would cost. You know, for the cost of having it. So I mean, like, do you think we would even go that much? And I'm like, no, 15 weeks out of the year. I'm not going that much.
Grimsley's about to start giving you a lot of vacation time. Wow.
You know, so anyway, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thanks. How are you?
How was did you have a leisurely drive up to Grand Coteau?
It was lovely, actually. This time of year is my favorite time of year to drive to school because there's no one else making the drive.
Yeah.
But, you know, from our house door to door, it's 22 minutes.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No, it's actually, I can get there faster than I can get across town. And it's a lot nicer.
Yes.
You know, no traffic jams. It's beautiful.
I'm digging it. Digging it.
I'll take 22 minutes at 75
over
over 18 minutes at 35 any day.
So I saw some good news over the weekend regarding your podcast that you're doing.
Yes.
You are nearing.
We are.
Being one of the top 100 podcasts on iTunes.
In the world.
In the world.
Yes. I know, isn't it?
Yes, that's awesome.
But we need a few more subscribers and ratings.
I was about to say, I mean, you've done it without vulgarity. You don't curse much.
I let out a heck every once in a while, but I try to keep it under control.
I love the fact that they're short.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of times you can't, you know, when I used to commute an hour, oh gosh, I loved books on tape.
Right.
Because you can just have it going.
Yeah.
You can be preoccupied with something while you're driving in traffic. You know, it's great, super safe. Anyway, with yours, they're about 10 minutes long.
Yep.
And they're super focused.
That's the plan.
So while you're scrolling through them, maybe you're a small business owner, or you're looking at things, or maybe, this is my situation, maybe your father-in-law is a small business owner, and it's not on his radar, so I have to tell him, you know, like, listen, this is what I heard about this is where you should go with your marketing.
Right.
I think that's great.
Well, at each one of them, we try to be very focused and give actionable intel, things you can really use today or tomorrow. So it's not vague, it's not general, it's something that anybody who works in a business can make these changes, most of them very small, incremental changes that don't cost anything to improve your marketing.
Okay, I want to ask you something about that's kind of in the news. And I'm not saying that Jackie Russo is the branding expert for Alex Jones and the InfoWars thing. Okay, so we're on week 3 of Megyn Kelly's new show.
Yes.
We know the name of the game early on is ratings.
Yes.
I think it was clear to anyone who was involved. It had nothing to do with the fact that it was Alex Jones who she interviewed, but people talked about the show, and I can't wait till usually today at noon we'll get overnights, from last night. I'm so interested to see if this type marketing works. Yes, it's different. It's not a billboard. It was actually a conversation and almost a feud. I mean, I would say you can call it a feud.
I would have feud, I'd call it that.
On social media, but how many people tuned in just to see it?
Right.
Good plan, long term. What do you think on that?
Well, you know, it's interesting. As soon as I started hearing about the protests and the people who were emailing and demanding that they pull the interview and pull the show, I'm like, well, she just won. She's already won. She's had more attention for her show over this than any other guest that she had booked up until that point. And so it's unfortunate, but that is still the way it works. When you have something that is, sensationalism, people respond.
It's almost like those billboards that say, does advertising work?
Right.
And then you're like, but you got me.
Right.
Like, so now I kind of have a bad taste in my mouth because now you made me look.
Right.
I feel like it's the same way, but do you think people come back? I mean, because think about it. There's no way she can compete next week with something even far beyond.
I think she's going to keep trying to raise the bar.
Okay.
And it might end with her actually shooting someone live on TV, but it will have worked.
Okay.
So, I think that at the end of the day, it's not about journalism anymore.
What about for him? I mean, this is the guy, pretty controversial, does this kind of put him in front of more people who are going to be interested?
Yeah, I
or
don't
do you
say
think
his
those
name
people
or
have
talk about him.
Well, do you think those people have already found him?
Well, and that's the thing is, I think he has a following, and I think that anybody else that talks about him buys into what he's trying to do.
Okay.
It's just like when Milo goes to college campuses and tries to get everybody to protest him being on the college campus. He's won before he's even spoken.
Okay. Good information. What are we talking about on the blog today?
Today, actually, we're starting a new little series about traditional advertising.
Okay.
You know, we get so locked into social media because that's what the show's about, and that's where people need to be paying attention, but we can't neglect our traditional lines. And so we started with radio, not because we're favorites, and not because we're here on the radio, but just because it makes sense. When you talk about budget and this market, which has such a high time spent listening, it's a strong medium. And so today on the blog and the podcast, we go through how to best leverage radio for your business.
Cool. And I think the difference with it, too, is there is so much, it's so much more intimate, you know, in my opinion.
Yes.
You know? Okay, Rob, that's why you moved back to Louisiana, to get intimate with the listeners of Acadiana? Yes.
I'm certain that there's a state police officer who's taking notes right now to make a case.
The thing about it is there's nothing in between
Right.
your commercial and the listener, especially like if they're in their car. It might just be you and them for a minute. What are your thoughts as someone who does marketing, why it's so enduring?
Well, I think it's interesting. You know, everybody predicted the demise of radio with cassettes and 8-tracks, and then with iPods and satellite. And so every turn, and yet when you're in a market like Lafayette, now this isn't in every market we buy in. There's some markets across the country where we buy media where radio is not an option at all.
Yeah.
But here, there's loyal listeners. And there are people who not only loyally pay attention to a certain disc jockey or a certain station and format on the radio, but they follow them everywhere. It's on the website, it's on social media, it's everywhere. And so they're locked and
Out
loaded.
at a car dealership?
Absolutely.
Just to go say hi?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every time there's a live remote, they're there. And so when you have that kind of loyal following, well then it's almost harder to buy radio because you've got so many different loyal groups. And so you've got to figure out which ones best meet your target audience. But at the end of the day, you've also got the benefit of production value. It doesn't cost a lot to make a radio spot. It needs a really good concept, a well-written script, and good execution, and then you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, you know, you do have the people on the radio at your disposal as well. If that's what you want to,
Absolutely.
if you want to put a product, I mean, gosh, Bernie has been sleeping on a Sleep Number bed for 18 years.
Right.
And you know what? She can talk about it better than anyone because every day she goes home, she gets in the Sleep Number bed. The last thing she does before she sees me in the morning, lucky her, is to get off her Sleep Number pillow.
Right.
I mean, it's really cool.
And so for everybody who's loyal to this station, they're going to be paying attention, and it's going to sink in. And when we talk about frequency, there's nothing better than radio for that.
You know, I do think it's worth saying. You've provided a perfect arena for me to say, and I think I can speak for Bernie too. You should know that Bernie and I will not talk about something or endorse something that we do not believe in. There is no price on my reputation or her reputation. So if you hear us talk about it, trust me, I'm going to do a video a little bit later about Moody Gardens.
We have turned people down.
Oh, yeah, we turn them down all the time.
Absolutely.
We kick them. Well, I went to Moody Gardens this past weekend.
Oh, isn't it great?
I can't wait. I'm going to set up the camera in my office. If you've seen those little Rob mini sessions that happen in there. I'm just so happy to, now have experienced the whole thing with my kids. I had been, but now getting to see it through their eyes, really cool.
See, now again, I'm thinking about earlier, no barrier to the audience and a Rob mini session. And it's just...
And intimacy.
Right. See, it just goes downhill so quickly.
Jackie, we said a little bit earlier. It's weird. It's raining while it's super sunny outside, but it's raining at the moment. Right?
That is crazy.
Is that are those like some floaters in my eyes? Like
no, that's real
high
rain.
Blood pressure
that is
situation? Okay, I don't know. Looks kind of like rain.
Right.
Jackie, so great to see you. Hey,
Thanks.
Subscribe to the podcast.
Absolutely.
Review the podcast.
Absolutely.
Just don't put some stupid review like the host is so beautiful. It's
I'll
not
take
that
it.
it's you'll take it, but it's audio. Okay,
True,
it's an
true
audio version. So
but you put 5 stars, you can write whatever words you want.
Hey, can I get a Russo t-shirt?
Done.
It's kind of the new thing.
Is it?
We have the Better Boot Productions.
Right.
I even got one from another radio station in our building here
Wow,
when I worked at the beach.
Nice.
I would love an R circled R.
I can hook you up.
Okay, 2X.
Adorable.
All right, hey, we have the Razor Branding blog up on our website, kpel965.com. Our interview with Jackie will be posted shortly as well. Hey, thanks, Jackie. See you next week.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.